Hey everybody. Um, Thank you all once again for your support and liking the channel. I mean, liking the videos, subscribing to the channel. And if you're watching and haven't, please do so. I would really appreciate it. Um, I hope you all are having a good holiday season, enjoying Christmas. Christmas is my absolute favorite. And it's just the spirit of it that drives everything, and I love it. Um, be sure to check out my review on the Aftershock Hulu documentary on Black women's maternal health. I encourage all of you, any of you looking, to watch it, take a look at it. Anyway, so we're back with another review of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Houston, we have a Kiki, season 6, episode 30. This episode had so much messy arguing that some of it even seemed staged at times, because even as Martell is screaming, Marceau and Mel were like in the back kitchen looking at each other like laughing about something that clearly didn't seem to have nothing to do even while Martell is acting crazy. Okay, anyway, so they're doing a trust exercise. Nell and Fletcher, y'all knew that was gonna be some bullshit. Y'all knew that. So they called Stormy and Tisha first. I just knew they were gonna call Mel and Martell first. Tisha turns around while Stormy has her arms out, and she's close to her because they're both short. Um, and she wants to make sure she's there. When it's Stormy's turn, she, I mean, um, she falls into Tisha's arms. Tisha catches her. So she did her thing. She trusted her, whatever. Then they asked Mel and Martell, child. Okay, first of all, didn't Mel ask y'all not to be in the same group if they start doing these kind of activities? Nell, you're messy. You're messy, okay? But I caught your game a long time ago. So Mel says she trusts the ground more than Martell. So she just goes ahead and falls. Martell's weak bitch ass is sitting in the confessional saying, oh, she doesn't want to look like she trusts me because of the people she's around, and she doesn't want to look weak. Motherfucker, we're past that. At the point in which she left your sorry ass, we were past that, darling. Okay? Anyway, now deal. So then it's Melody's turn to catch Martell, and his arrogance and narcissism, he couldn't help himself. He was like, yeah, I'm your baby daddy, you better catch me. She let his dumb ass fall on that soft ass mat. Next. Anyway, then Kiki shows up unceremoniously, okay? We don't even get no like real hard theme music for Kiki. Um, and Nell didn't tell anybody anything other than Fletcher. Kiki shows up by herself without her husband. Her husband's not here for the shit. He may be worse than Courtney because he don't even make it to the camera. All right, but I know my camera's off. My brother's in the other room, so I'm trying to. That's why I have my headphones in. Um, so she apologizes clearly and directly to Kimmy and Maurice for violating their home with the fight. Then she apologizes to Tisha for throwing that water in her face and getting into what eventually became kind of like a big blow up. She didn't deflect. She took responsibility. She was clear with her words. So Maurice and Kimmy accepted the apology and then say, but it should have happened sooner. It's been like a month. Like, this is like late. Like, Kimmy was like, it should have happened in the moment. Kimmy, do you think somebody can get into a whole ass fucking fight and apologize to you in the moment, even if it's when they just finished getting into a fight and go to their car? You and Maurice just go away, because honestly, I'm over it. And even though you kind of call yourself holding Maurice accountable by actually calling him out, if you will, when he does things wrong, you still stay with him and put up with his bullshit. Because Maurice is full of shit. He's kind of one of those that are bad in a different way than Marceau. Because Marceau, what you see is what you get with him a lot of times in terms of his relationships with men and women. But Maurice is full of shit. So anyway, and so is Kimmy. They are not giving anything but bullshit. Your husband needs to apologize to you for spreading y'all's business all over the internet. Really, that should be your main focus at this point. Anyway, so Kiki said she felt like she couldn't face Kimmy when it was supposed to be a celebration for her surviving cancer party. She was like, I really just couldn't. And I thought that was a really honest answer. And I thought it was sincere and I thought it was direct. So Nell asks Tisha if she accepts her apology. And so Tisha, in her typical passive aggressive bullshit way, goes, sure. Then walks away and starts crying in the kitchen. I'm sorry. I've tried to understand Tisha for several seasons now. I have, because I can tell she's sensitive and stuff. But Tisha be doing a lot of little shit. And I'm not here for it. I don't give a fuck. Anyway, so she said she felt blindsided because Kiki wasn't supposed to come. So Nell, once again, explained herself to Tisha and says, do y'all want her to stay? I will give this to Nell. Nell took complete responsibility. Not only did she acknowledge Tisha's feelings, she didn't try to make excuses for the fact that she allowed Kiki to come. She admitted it was a mistake, that she did not intend to blindside her. Like, she was very intentional, and I had no choice but to respect that. She said, I did tell Kiki that it may not go as planned. She said Fletcher was against it. She made sure he didn't get thrown under the bus. And she said, I agreed to it before I really gave it the proper thought. I went against my intuition. So Marceau was just like, I don't think y'all understand a relationship. And Nell said, I don't. Yeah, no excuses. She just said, I don't. Then Tisha was like, well, Mel does. And she should have told me. All y'all knew and didn't say anything to me. And I was kind of looking like, I don't remember seeing Mel on camera talking about how she knew Kiki was coming. So she was already geared up to blame Mel for this shit. Because that's the thing to do on this show. Ball out with Mel so you can get some attention. She said she felt betrayed. She didn't use the proper subject-verb agreement per usual, but nevertheless, we get you, girl. Anyway, I understand Tisha being upset. We all knew this was a bad idea. Tisha, you also know a lot of the shit Mel experienced with Martell, by the way, on and off the show. But that has not stopped you consistently for seasons asking inappropriate questions, trying to force Mel and Martell into the same space, asking them if they're going to call off their divorce, then asking them once they're divorced if they're going to get married again, in situations that you know are very hurtful to Mel, as they're very public, blow up, him cheating on her, not respecting her, going around with this side piece, getting another woman pregnant while he was married to her, technically, or whatever. So don't try to act like you and your husband, that ever stopped you from putting Mel in painful, hurtful, and humiliating situations. So even if Mel did know, and get the fuck out of here. So Nell was crying and she felt bad. Then Mel leaned in and hugged her and said, don't cry. Nell apologized, and she meant it. I really do think she meant it. You could tell. And she did what a person should do. She did everything, actually, a person should do when they apologize. And she said, I'll fix it. She didn't just simply say, I'm sorry I'm hurting your feelings. I'm sorry you're upset. She didn't do that. Then she went back and did the hard stuff, faced Kiki in front of everybody and said, you're not going to be able to stay. Because, she actually didn't even blame Tisha. She just said, look, this isn't going to work out. Stormy said, that's fine. She was like, she can stay with us. She ain't got to stay in this house. And I was like, you know what? You and Kiki have a real potential to be homegirls. Because you know what, Stormy? I'm kind of like that. I don't really like to see nobody get beat up on, even when, they were wrong for what they did. To be iced out and embarrassed like that in public, I don't like that. I don't like that. We can say, oh, when she threw that drink on Tisha, she embarrassed her. Yes, she did. But Tisha embarrassed herself and embarrassed Kiki when she just couldn't say a hello, how you doing? So I don't care. Now, Kiki, I'm going to tell you right now, I would have never done what you did. I wouldn't have. No amount of camera time, no amount of money is worth your self-respect and dignity. Okay? I don't want to go nowhere where I'm not wanted to that extent. I was not originally invited, and I should have been, if I felt I should have been, because at that point, it's not why didn't y'all invite me? They didn't invite you because they didn't want you to come. I would not have given them that opportunity. Period. Okay? I ain't saying the way they treated you was right. I'm just saying I wouldn't have done it. And I ain't going to say, oh, you better than me because you're not. You should have called me so I could tell you not to do that. So Nell handled this the best way she could have in this predicament after making this mistake. So I got to give it to her because you all know I don't be checking for Nell like that, but I gotta give it to her. So then Marcel and Tisha managed to blame Mel for this shit. Getting back to the big bullshit and say, you should have told us. Mel was like, I didn't know she was coming. She did ask Nell, did Tisha ask for Kiki to leave? Because Mel was sitting there like, I didn't ask her to leave. Because Tisha does not ever do her own dirty work. Okay? She was, and Nell was like, pretty much. And she was sitting there with that smirk on her face, Tisha, after Nell told Kiki to leave. Mel walked out the room on some bullshit Martell was getting into with Marceau about Mel and their marital past and how they're always taking Melody's side, this, that, and the other. Marceau and Martell are some whole bitches. That schoolgirl playground fight they started having, whacking each other's hands and shit. Martell, just go away. Like, away. When I say like away, like off the camera, off social media. Go finish that house in the garden and build some more. And then, like, just go grow your hair out. Change your name. Take a cue from Mel. I don't know what you're going to change your name to. Just start over as a human being, because I can't take it. You are looking worse and worse and worse. So Nell and Martell get into it. He said, y'all never hold Mel accountable. He is such a textbook narcissist. It's unbelievable. And so many people do stuff like that. No, I understand. I was wrong. But, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You don't take responsibility for it. You act like there's something Mel did to make you do that. Fuck you, Martell. He said y'all go around believing Mel everything she says. No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. You, sir, leave a dirt trail with your bullshit. He wanted Nell to ask Mel if she ever cheated on me. She was like, I did. And he was like, you never asked her when she cheated on me. What did she do to Martell? Followed by, I'm not blaming Mel for anything. Clearly, you blaming her for something, Martell. You want people to interrogate Mel with specific questions. So you mad about something? So Nell gets pissed and walks away. Stormy stops her and says, now, you've been talking this whole time about getting us together. She's like, I can't with him. She said, because I'm going to have Fletcher and them in the whole fight. So the women gather, right, in the kitchen, because Nell walks out, she's screaming, and she asked Mel, did you cheat on Martell? First of all, that pissed me off, because she had already told you no. Nell clearly did that because there was a camera. Honestly, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Fletcher, I don't know what you was on, because I would have beat the shit out of Martell on principle. You can't be in my wife's face yelling to the point where she got to walk out, this, that, and the other. That shit ain't cool. And I know in their little interview, he talked about how Nell and Martell go back at it. He was like, I know he not crazy enough to put his hands on my wife, this, that, and the other. That ain't the point. Sometimes you got to whoop a motherfucker's ass, okay? Because Martell act like a girl. Not even a woman, a girl. Anyway, okay. So, side note, this is what I mean with Tisha. Did y'all notice how Tisha's tears dried up real quick? And all of a sudden, she could be around Kiki with no problem. But a Nell bullshit and the interrogation of Mel's cheating and timeline? Bitch, bye. Next. Okay, so Mel said the only time she was with somebody else was when she left and never came back. First of all, I don't think Mel owes anybody an explanation. There hasn't been any pictures, any proof. Now, we know if Martell had a sex tape that he was going to leak to the internet as revenge porn for his ex-wife because she left his sorry ass. You mean to tell me that if he had receipts on just like pictures of her with another man, he wouldn't have used it? The fuck out of here. Then Martell said, you don't talk about how Mel hurt me. And Mel was like, I can't do it with the victim blaming. I can't. He trying to be a victim. I'm walking away. He accused Mel of cheating, and she said, and then Mel got down to the nitty gritty. See, Martell, I can't imagine how much she's been protecting you from and trying to protect her kids from by not saying on TV and kids knowing at school and shit like that. Because let me tell you something. When she told that story, and I believe it, because I know, and I know that feeling in your gut when you see a man with another woman. I remember that feeling in college, and that shit taught me what I never ever wanted to experience again. Anyway, so she said she caught him in the truck with his now other baby mama at Alabama A&M's homecoming again in October 2017. Let's just pause there. And she said, and then she went and got her own apartment. because he refused to leave the house. We saw that in them other episodes. She said, fuck it, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. All right, bitch. And bitch as in Martell. How the fuck you get caught with your motherfucking side bitch at a homecoming for an institution that both you and your wife graduated from? For a school y'all both went to in a small town like Huntsville, when you had 3 whole ass kids and a wife. How the fuck she catch you in the truck like that? How are you that fucking sloppy? I ain't never heard that story before. She could have been told that. And this is the same chick. Didn't she flunk out of nursing school? Anyway, so then Stormy, okay, took up for Mel. Okay? And let's not forget, she spoke up for her with this bullshit. Okay? And she was like, it doesn't matter about the timeline. If you cheated first and the marriage was over, all this other stuff you talking about, it don't even matter. Whether it's true or not, it does not matter. So then Kimmy's pick-me ass stopped Stormy, who has actually been beefing with Mel for over a year, but still stood up for her. And I can respect that, because enough is enough. And says, so once the spouse cheats, everything after that, it doesn't count anymore for the other person. To basically suggest that Stormy was defending Mel's non-existent cheating. Stormy was like, if it's over, yes, everything is fair game after that. He shouldn't have cheated. Y'all notice Courtney's face? Like, I better not make that mistake. I didn't know she thought that. Anyway, so Martell keeps saying, I take accountability, but y'all take Mel's side. Well, baby, if you admitting to that and taking accountability, why wouldn't they? They've done a lot to defend you, hun. Especially Tisha, Marceau, Kimmy, and Maurice. Because they some... I don't even want to start. And Kimmy, I used to really like you, but some of your stuff, it's not sitting with me. He said he shouldn't have cheated. He's taking his accountability, but then doesn't want anybody to take Mel's side. He is the most hypocritical, non-accountable, ridiculous, sorry ninja I've seen in some time. You had it all with Mel, Martell. You really did. And you lost it because you were selfish and because you got jealous of your wife's success and you wanted to do something to hurt her and harm her, to humble her in the face of your insecurities. So you broke her heart and you were successful. Now go and be with that illiterate tramp while Mel lives in a house on the hill, has a name changing ceremony, and just keeps prospering. I'm here for it. I love when God moves in somebody else's life, because that to me is a reminder of what can happen in mine, and she deserves it. Okay, I want to see you win. All right, so Marceau and Mel are talking in the kitchen, right? While all this is going on, all this has devolved into just a bunch of mess. So, and Mel told Marceau, stop acting like I was checking for y'all. Don't say, because Marceau was in there, well, I take Martell's side, because you know, Mel would say stuff about us, this and that, the other, she lied on us. She was like, first of all, I was not checking for y'all after I left him. He said, no, I didn't say that. You essentially did, you dumb fuck. Anyway, and she said, no, he put batteries in my back about y'all the same way he's put batteries in y'all's back about me now. You need to look at the pattern. I said, well, go off, Mel, because you got a point. Mel thanked him, though, for telling him how Keke felt, because she had nothing to do with Keke being invited. Marcel was like, I don't think she knows that. Y'all should have a conversation. But Mel, you did encourage Keke to reach out. I guess you probably thought Nell would say no. But you did not invite her. And after that, after suggesting that for Keke, and Keke clearly didn't communicate with you that she was coming. I mean, it's kind of up in the, it's just like, it is what it is. So Mel told Tisha she had nothing to do with her coming, at least not directly. And, Tisha hugs her or whatever, because Tisha need a friend, because she want to hope that everybody going to hate Keke for her. Anyway, so Fletcher finally takes the megaphone, because I'm surprised I could even stop that fighting, because that was a mess. To stop all the bullshit, and they go horseback riding. You know what? This scene in Love Marriage Huntsville is like maybe like a microcosm of that, like 5th or 6th season of Real Housewives of Atlanta, when they were all in that hotel room and Nene was on something and everybody got into those fights. This was like a microcosm of that. Anyway, So they go horseback riding, whatever. Tisha says Kiki is hanging around like a ghost because nobody wants her here. Ma'am, no, you and your husband don't want her here. I didn't hear that from even Martell's sorry ass. I didn't hear that from Stormy. I didn't hear that from Courtney. I didn't hear that from Mel. That's a good 4 people that don't mind her being there. Speak for yourself, Tisha. Okay? Then they have a psychotherapist hanging around the horse ride stuff to help. Okay. Anyway, I don't see Kiki. She was like, Tisha was basically like, Kiki needs to accept that I don't want her in my life. First of all, I'm gonna keep it real. I don't see Kiki trying to be in Tisha's life. She didn't ask for that. Did I miss that? Put it down in the comments. Kiki came and apologized. She didn't ask Tisha for y'all to hang out. Y'all go to dinner together so y'all could talk. Girl, stop. Stop. Because you want us to think that people want to be in your life more than they actually want to be. And it's ridiculous. It's giving I need attention. Anyway, yeah. So Stormy was right when she said it's hard to come to somebody correct and the past keeps getting thrown at you. That's unfair. And I think she was right. She was like, because, and Kiki did come correct. She said, yes, what she did was wrong. We know it's wrong. We get it. Let's move forward. And I was with her. She here now. I mean, it'd be one thing if Kiki came in and just got all aggressive. She didn't. They keep saying Kiki is so bad. I mean, this is Stormy talking. They keep saying Kiki's so bad she shouldn't be here. And then, you know, like hearing that a lot is hurtful. Especially when I feel like she did the right thing. She was very clear. She never deflected. She did not excuse her behavior. And I can appreciate that. Marcel said, well, look, I want to keep the door open out of love. And then he gives some sort of metaphor to the wood and the fire, which actually was applicable, but I don't care. Kiki said, yeah, she does feel rejected in the confessional. Kiki, honestly, I don't think you should have come. And I'm not even saying that because you know, I go up for you and I'm rooting for you too. I wouldn't have given them the time and space to reject me. But at the same time, everybody also doesn't want to see her go. Actually, Mel and Tisha had a moment at the fire. Mel, Tisha, and Marcel, because you already know how that go. Then Tisha's in the confessional. In reference to Kiki, said, well, God said go. I said, isn't that something? Tisha, you in the confessional quoting Mel's t-shirts? That Marcel said didn't make her a businesswoman? But okay, because it clearly means her t-shirts have had an impact on you that you applying that to your life. So God said go. All right, Tisha, and now I'm going to go. Y'all have a very Merry Christmas. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy your family. And if the holidays are hard for you and you spend time, you know, by yourself or it's a source of pain, because whatever it is, just find some things that make you happy. Or I don't care if it's, you know, holiday movies, whatever it is. Just anything, music, whatever makes you happy. Just do that. And just trust God for the best things and for His grace and His mercy. Because that's what He sent Christ for anyway. Okay? He came for us all. Everybody. I don't care what you've done. I don't care what your race is. What your sexuality is. God came for all of us. Okay?